How's the family?
Felix got into medical school.
You're paying, of course.
Of course.
Well, I know our pockets aren't as deep as yours. Hopefully you'll play nice in the bidding war today.
Oh, Cal, I don't want to start a war with you. We're not interested in a bidding war. We've set the price. Either you can pay it, or you can't.
What Claire means to say is this technology is not exclusive. Everything you see today will be available for your organization with top-of-the-line security to ensure that your data stays secure, remotely accessible, and permanently backed up on a private apocalypse-proof server at one of our bases in North Dakota or Alaska.
Alaska?
Isolated and cold. Easier and cheaper to maintain security and temperature control of the servers. I assume you're underground and using geothermal cooling? That's correct, Ms. Sokolova. Nat, please.
Cal wants us to update all 3 systems on his watch.
Why?
Someone said the color cycling made him look like a disco ball.
Was it Vic or Natalia?
Does it matter?
Yes. Because if this is about function or ego, I have different solutions.
Function. He doesn't need help with his ego.
We can have all 3 accessible through a single interface, but it could create security issues. A backdoor into the systems that would make it much easier to hack as long as you have legitimate access to one of the systems. You could get into the other 2.
Is that a bug or a feature?
Depends on how clandestine and classified you want your organization to actually be in practice.
The watches are inert until Isaac is activated, right?
More or less. Until you're activated and we maintain activation, it's just a watch.
A very smart watch.
Yeah, but without activation and the brick, it's just a watch that someday may alert you to get off your ass and get to work.
So until activation, there really isn't a threat.
Not to security. But they are passive. They are recording everything, all the time, and filling the databases. If he wants his analysts to be able to access all that intel and data, then feeding all 3 into the same repository could be beneficial. But it's definitely not secure.
And what about the other databases?
Like Diamond?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's all built on the same tech. If he wanted a backdoor into their operations to monitor them, it's just a matter of giving him access to their database.
How hard would that be to hook up?
It's 1 server and 1 update, 5 minutes. But it would put our other contracts in danger if they ever found out.
How would they find out?
The same way Cal would find out. They would all have access to the same back door. If they are all from the same root, it's just a matter of finding the right file. It's all there, but if someone gets bored or goes looking, they can find anything they want. If they've got the skills and patience to weed through the garbage first. I'd really like to see the new prototypes when you have them ready. Until then, it's a pass for me.
That's too bad, Nat. I really think you'd benefit from getting in on this early. Be able to shape the R&D.
She's right. It's not a good fit. Besides, I'm not really comfortable working with private organizations with practically no public profile beyond Sokolov concern. I can't imagine your entire business is built around tactical knee pads. I value discretion, Mrs. Ortiz. And I am sure you can appreciate that it's not wise for a woman in this industry to lay all her cards on the table until she is ready to play them. I can. If you're concerned about the data, we can build a private server with biometric security. Only people you've personally vetted would have clearance to access or amend your services. That's excellent to know. Alexander, please do get in touch for a demonstration once you get the interface down to a single component.
The prototype should be ready in a couple of months.
Excellent. Well, I'll let you finalize this deal. Cal, see you at the benefit later.
Wouldn't miss it for the world. Now, Alex, tell me, where do I sign?
I think you are really going to like this. For the rural agent, or in the unlikely event that the global or national network goes down, may we present the mobile shade server.
It looks like a briefcase.
Exactly.
That is a briefcase.
No, it's a mobile shade server.
Then why does it look like a briefcase?
Because you were right. Your agents are supposed to be hidden in plain sight, and it would be really hard to justify a warhound in someone's garage, but a briefcase, that's easily concealed and innocuous.
You spend much time in the rural parts of the country?
Can't say that I do.
You think an agent on a tractor with a leather-bound briefcase with a big Phoenix medallion isn't conspicuous? God help me.
Well, when you put it like that...
Make it metallic and lose the insignia. You can put the logo on the screen, but the outside should be blank.
That's excellent feedback, Cal.
If your mobile shade server works half as well in the field as it does in the simulation, this could be a game changer.
We're glad you agree.
Does Nat know about this?
No, this is a failsafe for your agents only.
Good. Good.
There may come a time when you need to cut off her access to the network, and until you can isolate your access, this is an insurance policy against a potential coup.
You're a true patriot.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm sure Nat would be willing to pay top dollar for something like this.
I'm sure she would. But some things are too dangerous to give to the highest bidder. Some things should only belong to the people.
Now, I have big plans for this system of yours.
That's excellent, Cal.
If I wanted to utilize your system for 3 organizations, would I need to wear 3 of those watches and 3 of those bricks, or could you put all 3 on a single unit for me?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm looking at your technology, and I see other organizations who could benefit from these tools. The NSA is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to intelligence and security. I have other, more obscure teams at my disposal who could utilize this technology. It would increase my order tenfold and give you and the missus plenty of seed money to play around with.
More private contractors?
Not at all. Homeland Security. Strictly homeland and governmental entities.
And they all fall under your purview?
Of course. I am the secretary.
If you're looking for a more discrete single unit, we could house all 3 on a single system, and you decide which system you want to access through the interface.
Can you get rid of the brick for me?
For just you, or for you and all the field agents?
Just me. I think it's helpful to have the identification on the back. The wrist can be a little hard to see, but that beacon of hope in the dark illuminating your face, there's something heroic about that.
Hostile detected. Hostile eliminated.
Hostile detected. Hostile eliminated.
What do you think?
I think this is a waste of time.
It's just for the field test. I promise, if the results come back and they prefer Anna, we can delete Isaac.
If we were just going to delete it all, I don't see the point in wasting time building an entirely separate AI. We could be investing this time in refining Anna, instead of building a superfluous backup.
They've requested a more impersonal AI for the field test.
Did they request it, or did you ask them to request it?
You know how they are.
Fine, but Isaac is not going to be as smart or independent as Anna. I don't have time to do all that reprogramming and recording. He will have to be very binary in his morality. If you're fine with an AI that doesn't get nuance, I'll add him as an option.
I think the users will feel more comfortable with a less human-sounding AI. Anna can be a little much.
You're a little much.
I don't like how human she is sometimes.
Hostile detected. Recommendation, eliminate or sedate. She's hilarious, and she gives you choices. You're telling me you would rather have direct orders from an AI than operational choice?
I'm telling you, I don't think people are ready for an AI that can pass the Turing test.
Sir, I wanted to follow up about that professor in New York.
What professor?
Amherst. His student was trying to seduce him.
So, did he sleep with her?
No, sir.
So your update is there is no update.
Not exactly.
I don't care about some college professor. Is there a problem with the Isaac system?
No, the comms are still coming in. There's still too much data to sort through, but I think we might want to take a closer look at this professor.
Is he sleeping with a different student?
No, sir. He's been giving lectures about viruses resetting the world to curb climate change.
So, kook.
Or dangerous expert in virology who could help nature along.
Honest opinion, Matthias.
It's ambitious. The surveillance technology and capabilities are a clear advantage for both the NSA and the Black Tusk.
Any downsides?
Honestly, I don't know how secure their network is. It would be very easy for them to cut corners and have everything funnel into a central repository. Without doing an on-site appraisal of their servers and security, I would expect other users on the same network could access your comms and intel.
That's very helpful.
I aim to please.
We should speak more after this.
Personal or professional?
Professional.
What's your favorite geometric shape?
A diamond.
Interesting. You know you can tell a lot about a person by their favorite shape.
What's yours?
Technically, it's a plane curve.
Parabola?
Yeah, that's... You're not what I expected, Miss Sokolova.
Why would I want that?
If they can walk on 2 legs instead of 4, they could be more agile and fit through tighter spaces.
Sure, I can see a use case for that.
So we're approved?
How much is this going to cost me?
Not much. We could even tack this onto the R&D budget you've already approved. Claire's really excited about the prospects.
So, this is to make your wife happy.
You know what they say? Happy wife, happy life.
No one who is really happy says that. I see the value for Cal and his teams, but I don't really see the value in an AI handler for my organization. If your operatives are left alone in the field, my operatives would never be left alone in the field. In a perfect world, yes, but we do not live in a perfect world. Go on. If an operative is alone in the field, our AI can take over robotics automation to maintain perimeter defenses. And the likelihood of a friendly fire casualties? Next to zero. How does the AI detect friendlies? Biometrics and personalized ID. The watches. And the bricks. They're a bit bulky. Any chance of miniaturization or combining both the receiver and the interface?
Not in this generation. We are working on combining the 2 pieces into a single unit, but it would require a larger interface to house both components and will be exponentially more expensive.
Expense is not an issue for me.
I think we'll stick with the more cost-effective and tested methods. Watches and bricks. I'd like you to meet Natalia Sokolova.
Nice to meet you, Miss Sokolova.
Cal says he wants us to work together. I think he's just trying to use my budget to expand his little experiment.
Is your organization using the Ortiz robotics tech?
Yes.
You're not worried about the potential security breaches?
With Isaac?
Yes.
We're not using Isaac. We're using the system agnostic from the AI.
Are you sure?
That's what Alex told me.
Did Claire confirm it?
No.
If you don't mind, I'd like to do a security protocols check on your version of their systems. I believe there may be a major exploit that could be a matter of national security.
Well, I don't belong to any one nation. My enterprise is global.
Then there is a potential exploit to your global security.
Everything is locked on a biometric server. If you can access my system, I may have a job for you. Or I may need to re-evaluate whether or not to eliminate Alex from my future endeavors.
How did the field test go?
The one in Manhattan or South America?
South America.
Good. We've infiltrated the cartel and believe we should have a basic outline of the infrastructure in a month.
Excellent.
The tech is excellent for intel and infiltration. I'm still concerned about the legalities when it comes to civilian privacy.
The Manhattan field tests?
Yes. They've spread beyond Manhattan.
How far beyond Manhattan?
Some of the people at the theater were tourists visiting from out of state and abroad.
Are you still getting new reports from their phones?
Yes.
All of them? Are there any outliers?
One person in the UK did a security update, and we lost the feed. Other than that, everyone in the theater is still active, and the records are being uploaded to Isaac's database daily at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Let me know if anything changes.
What are we doing here, sir?
Testing a new security tool. Nothing more, nothing less.
I hope you understand.
That you're not interested in renewing my contract. Sure. I understand.
And that all the design work that you have created during your tenure here is now property of Ortiz Robotics.
You own everything you don't want that sucks and is broken. Goody for you.
We own all of the designs, so if elements of your designs are repurposed and used in any other application, you have no intellectual property ownership or claim to any designs that you have worked on during your time at Ortiz Robotics.
Okay.
This is not exclusive to designs you've submitted for review. This includes designs that you've developed in the last 6 months on any Ortiz Robotics equipment or on its properties.
What do you mean its properties?
Well, since you were living in corporate housing, anything you created in the apartment is also property of Ortiz Robotics.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I wish I was. You really should have read your contract thoroughly before signing it. If you have an issue with this, you could have avoided the clause in Section 9 or found off-campus housing.
With what you pay me, off-campus would have meant West Virginia.
We wish you great luck in the future and look forward to seeing what you do next. Thank you for all your contributions to Ortiz Robotics.
Sure.
We're gonna need that watch back. I don't even know where you got one of those.
Oh, this? This was a gift from Cal. Pretty sure this belongs to me. Spend the minimal amount to get this prototype shipped. I'm working on a ballistic simulation to test the accuracy and effectiveness of the Warhounds. Simulation? Yes. Since we can't test these prototypes in the open, we have created an augmented reality simulation, complete with real-time data on the effects of your gear and tech on hostile elements. And who are these hostile elements? Operators who we trust, and have volunteered to be digital cannon fodder for your Warhounds as a training exercise. The suits we have designed will track all their biometrics, and the data we gather from them will be invaluable. Did Cal put you up to this?
We can't afford this.
Put it on Sokolova's tab. She's got the money for it.
You can't keep putting Cal's R&D on the Black Tusk budget.
Why not?
Well, this isn't for her tech. She doesn't want the AI. She doesn't want Isaac.
She doesn't want untested tech either.
Are you going to give operators Warhounds?
Of course not. But I am going to let them know what it feels like to fight one.
You're going to make the Black Tusk tech part of the field test?
Yes. We will field test her tech and gear as the AI-generated hostile force and get real-time assessment of how the operator reacts. That testing is for Black Tusk and goes on their budget. We can't test the system in the open, so we need to come up with a way to simulate battle conditions.
What kind of simulation?
One that is as realistic as possible for our operators.
You mean like a VR simulation?
No. Augmented reality, but more realistic.
Well, that should be easy enough with the contact lens.
Yes, but I want them to feel the hits. If it's just the visual, we won't be able to assess the real stress and pressure on the body. They are talking about giving Isaac to gym teachers in Missoula. I want to know how they would react in a real combat situation.
You want them to feel pain?
Yes. People in pain will react in unpredictable and dangerous ways. I want to know what these ops will do when they are really in pain and afraid, before I give them live rounds.
How is the testing going?
Impressive and horrifying.
Care to expand on that analysis?
Well, I went to a play last night, and every member of the theater's phones are now in the database, giving continuous wiretaps and uploading their text and voicemail histories along with online searches and social media profiles.
So, a success.
If you think wading through millions of hours of new data is a success, sure.
It doesn't filter?
Oh, it filters. But it's arbitrary, and it only tells you what it thinks is relevant.
What's the problem?
Well, there was a college student at the play last night. She has a crush on her professor. Was talking about how she was going to have a one-on-one with him today and was going to try and seduce him.
Any red flags on the professor?
Just some egomaniacal adjunct at Cooper Union.
What does he teach?
Science. Virology. Has been doing lectures about climate change, human interference, and how if we aren't careful, viruses will evolve to solve the problems for us.
Sounds like a kook. Is he dangerous?
Everyone is dangerous, but this is just invasive. We aren't tracking him, we're tracking a student.
Well, sometimes we need non-criminal informants. Let me know how the meeting goes.
I don't want to listen to a young girl seduce her professor.
If she succeeds, we can send an anonymous tip to the college administration.
I didn't join the NSA to tattle on dirty old men to the admissions board.
We save the lives in front of us. You can get a predator off the streets. It's not as glamorous as taking down an international cartel, but it's still the job. Do the job.
Sir, we need to talk about Gordon Amherst.
Did he finally sleep with his student, or did he build a biological weapon the world has never seen before?
He did not sleep with his student, and I can't confirm whether or not he is working on a biological weapon.
You can't confirm whether or not he is working on a biological weapon?
That's correct, sir.
Is he working on a biological weapon?
I cannot confirm that, sir.
So he's not working on a biological weapon and is just a kook.
I cannot confirm that, sir.
Has anyone ever told you you can be really annoying and obtuse?
Yes, sir. That's why I'm an analyst and not a field operative, sir.
Okay, so you're obsessed with Gordon Amherst and believe he may be a threat to national security, but can't prove that, and all you have to go on is some rants about climate change?
And his association with Vitaly Chernenko.
Vitaly... what now?
Chernenko, Russian virologist who specializes in 3D printing.
My nephew is into 3D printing. Why do we care about grown men who make plastic miniatures?
We don't. But we should care about grown men who can manufacture viruses.
Trig, I need a favor.
Anything for my favorite evil genius.
I'm not evil.
Just a genius.
What do you expect from a trapezoid?
God, I love your sense of humor. What do you need?
Need you to do a field test on those new warhounds for Nat.
Already did. Aside from the creepy biped action, they're working great.
I want you to run the test again with Anna.
You know Nat doesn't want the AI.
She wants the guidance system. How does she expect the Warhound's guidance system to operate independently without an AI?
Fine, but if she hates it, you can remove Anna, right? She's not just gonna slip in there and corrupt or rewrite the code or anything like that, right?
Of course not. She's just here to collect data. She's not a person, Trig. She's not even a shape. Just a series of ones and zeros. Don't be paranoid. It's not like she could augment reality and murder the operators.
Sir, we need to abandon the site.
What site?
The detention center.
What's happening?
Confirmed contamination.
What kind of contamination?
Chimera.
Not the shit in New York.
Affirmative.
How the hell did it get here?
Asymptomatic carrier. She was in New York before being arrested at the mall.
One of the protesters? I knew we shouldn't have let DCPD use our detention center.
No, this was one of ours. Eco-terrorist was arrested trying to light a Christmas tree on fire.
We stopped that attack in New York before all of this happened.
The same group tried again in D.C. a week later. Isaac intercepted their comms.
At least that's working.
We need more space. We need to quarantine the staff from the detention center and move our operations from the data center. It's too risky to stay here long term.
Report to the testing facility. We'll set up a quarantine.
I'll let the teams know.
Give me a day to get it all set up. In the meantime, isolate and see if we can find a way to rapid test for infected.
We don't need a rapid test.
Since when?
Isaac can detect viral loads.
Well, that's not terrifying.
Infected need to be separated. We don't know what the recovery rate is. Infected doesn't mean dying. And we can study the asymptomatic carriers, maybe use their blood to find the vaccine. We could get ahead of this thing.
You're a virologist now?
No, but Amherst is.
The college professor?
Yeah, the not a viable threat. He made this. If we can get into his apartment or office, we might be able to reverse engineer this bullshit he created. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to swear. I'm just very tired.
It's fine. We all are. Get everyone packed and ready and bring whatever you need to the facility to continue working on containing this thing.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Cal, your boys are outfitted in the latest tech. This is a state-of-the-art simulation using augmented reality to provide your operators a realistic combat experience without having to leave the comfort and safety of the facility and protecting your investment from prying eyes.
You don't have to sell me on the pitch. I already agreed to the test. Agents, are you ready?
Alpha, ready, sir.
Bravo ready. Good to see you again, Alex.
Vivian,
Okay. Let's get this test of yours underway.
your objective is to utilize the mobile shade server to access intel and utilize your shade tech to infiltrate the bunker.
Copy that.
This is gonna be fun. Oh, look. You did use my fire turret after all.
Only for the simulation. They are not suitable for the field, Viv.
Good to know it wasn't completely wasted work. And hey, nice to confirm you can actually follow design directions. Nicely done, Alex. What did he say?
That farmers wouldn't have a leather briefcase.
Does he want me to make it look like a toolbox instead?
No, just make the outside metal and remove the insignia. Have the phoenix on the loading screen.
Huh. Those are actually good notes.
I thought so too.
Might be easier to waterproof, and definitely will be easier to conceal with other metal objects than making a farmer seem like a lawyer.
I think we could get him to sign off on production if he could see it in action.
A field test to prove the usage.
Exactly.
In the simulation room or in the field?
Simulation is safer. It's easier to control the variables to get the desired outcome.
Set it up. What's the point of this? Mobile medical support. Nanotechnology deployed to do field triage. Exactly. We equipped the Warhound with one of these deployable medical support stations. They drop the station into a combat area and the nanotech goes to work, assessing the status of your operators in the field. They can cauterize wounds, administer small doses of adrenaline or combat cocktails, deploy expanding foam to stem bleeding. And you've built the nanobots for this? They are still theoretical, but the deployment mechanism is real.
We have the ones that deliver the expanding foam, but they are one-time use, and they can't fly back to the flytrap and be picked up by the Warhound.
Flytrap? That's what Alex has been calling the device that houses the nanotech. Clever.
Thank you.
This is promising. Let me know when the traps are fully operational.
Mobile shade servers have been delivered to all rural outposts, and the next shipment is due to roll off the assembly line next month. They will be installed at central hubs in all major metropolitan areas.
You don't think that's overkill?
It's a Band-Aid. You can never have enough Band-Aids in a war zone.
Are you expecting us to be at war soon?
I expect that Nat wouldn't be ordering so many warhounds if she didn't need them, and if she's getting ready for war, we should be too.
Understood. Your AI just got one of my agents killed.
Hello, Cal. Nice to hear your voice. How is New York?
Alex,
What happened?
one of my agents broke into a pharmacy to get painkillers and bandages for a gunshot wound, and your AI marked her rogue, killed her turret, and left her defenseless.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She should have used a key.
I thought your AI was supposed to be smart.
My AI is smart. Isaac leaves much to be desired.
I can't have my agents left defenseless because Isaac is a Boy Scout.
We have a workaround.
Then do it.
If I allow your agents to have full access to the system, even if they go rogue, you know what this means, right?
Yes,
Do you also want me to activate Stage 1 of the Hunter Protocol?
that's the failsafe.
Stage 1 only allows you to activate individuals on a case-by-case basis. If you want them all online, we have to move to Stage 3.
I remember. Individual, regional, national.
That's correct.
Just do it. This was never supposed to happen.
It wasn't, but I'm glad we're ready just in case.
You weren't ready. This is a shit show.
This is food poisoning. Just stay hydrated and pray this whole thing blows over in a couple of days.
I don't need the sales pitch right now, Alex. I need your tech to do its fucking job.
Okay, it's done. Rogue agents now have access to their tech, and if one of them becomes a problem, you can activate a hunter to dispatch of said problem.
Thank you, Claire. I'm sorry I yelled. This was not where I had planned to be when this all went down.
No one expects to be at ground zero. But once you're there, you either adapt or die. Lucky for you, you've got an army to get through before you die.
That's not as comforting as you think, Claire.
If you need anything else, we'll be in the bunker. At least those systems are working fine. Thank Birdie for the power solutions. The defense systems are really impressive now that the power is stable. The holograms are not working as intended. We need a more stable power source.
Cal says he's working on it.
I really hope that doesn't mean what I think it means.
You knew that we would need to bring in additional funding and consultants.
But not him. I can't work with him.
I know, but if you want to get the new system into production, we need their help. Cal promised you can work directly with Birdie. You won't have to see Vic at all.
I can work with Birdie.
Other than the power supply, any other red flags from the field test?
Concerned the AI might be too sensitive and quick to marking the user off mission and removing access to the tech.
Is there an easy win there?
Yeah, We mark them off mission, but don't kill their access. We alert other users to a potential threat, but in case the AI is just being touchy, we allow the user to still have access to their tech.
Visual and auditory alert?
Yeah. We'll change their UI to red, and Isaac will detect the status change and alert surrounding users. Will suck for people who are colorblind or in certain lighting conditions, but the voice backup should alleviate that issue a bit. It's not perfect, but it's better than killing someone's tech in the middle of a firefight because you accidentally shot a friendly or broke a door lock to get to cover. Isaac can be a little didactic in his morality. This is why I prefer Anna. Thank you for organizing the testing facility and granting access to Birdie. She really does have a brilliant mind for this kind of work.
Happy to be of service.
I'm honestly surprised how hands-on you are with this project.
When only a handful of people have the clearance to support it, you have to hold more hands.
My hope is to make that a little easier for you.
Oh?
I'm working on a new program that will completely automate the simulation and training for your operatives, and make it easier for Birdie to do her work independently.
Anything you can do to make this project go smoother with fewer hands on deck, the better. And whenever you finish those upgrades Nat is paying for, I would be happy to inherit any of her old and surplus toys.
How did it go?
Terrible. They hated my idea.
Oh, don't worry. It's not just you. They hate all ideas except their own.
Birdie?
Birdie doesn't count. She's like some kind of savant or something, and honestly, I think she's just so Birdie that it's easier to get out of her way and let her do whatever crazy-ass thing is in her head.
It's not fair.
No, it's not fair. But a lot of things aren't fair.
It's a solid idea, but I need their money to build the prototype.
What's the pitch?
Terrestrial firebomb.
Why?
Original concept. To deploy into forest fires to do controlled burns so that we don't have to use a smoke jumper.
That's a good idea. But too philanthropic for this bunch. Find a combat application, and maybe.
I gave them a combat application, but they said it was too war crimey. They've got automated drones. How is this any more war crimey than the shit they already have in development?
It was their idea, so of course it's beyond reproach.
Ugh, I hate rich people.
Trust me, Cal will buy if we use Isaac.
What's the problem with Anna?
He's a good old boy. You saw how the subjects responded to the prototype?
Openly hostile towards having the female AI tell them what to do. Yeah, I remember. It's ridiculous and sexist and utterly disgusting.
It is. But we know that, and if we want to keep funding the development of the tech, we need to secure this contract. And Isaac will secure the deal.
You only like him because he's you.
And you prefer Anna because she's you.
I want you to equip all our personnel with this new Ortiz tech.
You mean the operatives in the field?
No. I want you to equip all our personnel.
You don't think that's an invasion of privacy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The new Isaac tech is supposed to be able to access and data mine all surveillance equipment and recording devices it comes into contact with.
Yes.
Our personnel are often in civilian spaces, like restaurants and banks and theaters. If they're wearing this tech, anyone they come into contact with will have their data uploaded to Isaac's system if it actually does what they promise.
Exactly.
You don't believe the tech works as intended?
I don't believe in trusting the word of a salesman who barely graduated. I don't want to trust in a belief. I want to see test results that confirm if it's snake oil they're selling. If it's bullshit, I want to know.
Will you cancel the contract if we find the tech doesn't work?
Of course not. If I don't spend my budget, I lose my budget. Gotta keep the wheels of Congress greased and ready to fund the new future of warfare.
You mean security?
Yes, security. If we have this tech, it's only a matter of time before enemies do. Honestly, I hope it's bullshit. Otherwise, all our secrets will be for sale to the highest bidder, and the government's pockets are not that deep.
Sir, I really think we should take a closer look at Amherst.
I've already given local Leos a heads up. They've investigated and cleared him.
I'm looking at his online activity.
Do you have a warrant to monitor him?
No.
How do you have access to his online activity? Are you hacking him?
No, of course not. It's the Isaac servers.
Fruit from the poison tree.
Since when do you care where the fruit comes from?
Waller's trying to crack down on privacy protections, getting ready for re-elections, and cybersecurity is a hot topic.
So we are just supposed to ignore an active threat for politics?
We're supposed to serve at the pleasure of the president. If we want to continue to serve this president, we need to follow his lead.
Understood, sir. I will try to find some non-poisonous fruit on Amherst. We only have one team operational ready in New York.
Prioritize the tree.
Sir, I really think you should reconsider. We should focus our efforts on Amherst.
He's a theoretical threat. The eco-terrorists have been clear about their target.
Local Leos can handle them. There's no reason to send our team to intercept.
This is the priority. If you can't support that, I will put in your transfer to the Roswell office myself.
Understood. I will order all units to report to the tree lighting ceremony.
Stop worrying about Amherst. He lives in a fantasy of his own making. He's not a threat.
I hope you're right, sir. I fucking told him!
Told who what?
Fucking Cal, that motherfucker McManus!
Okay, you're gonna have to take a breath.
I warned him about Amherst, and he sent us after a fucking Christmas tree!
Okay, you've lost me.
We could have stopped what was happening.
What's happening?
You're kidding, right?
No.
The outbreak!
That mystery flu that's going around?
They haven't briefed you?
Why would anyone brief me?
Ortiz hasn't told you anything?
I don't work with them anymore.
Division hasn't briefed you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Viv, I'm not a fucking idiot. I've seen your watch. I know you're one of them. You were here for their simulation training.
So much for super secret society of elite agents that no one knows about.
Where the hell do you think your tech came from?
DARPA?
You're not wrong. But Viv, we're fucked. This was an attack. This was engineered. Your elite plainclothes average person turned last great hope bullshit experiment that was never supposed to be activated is about to get activated, and it's all my fault.
It's not your fault.
I knew we should have gone after Amherst, and we didn't. I followed orders, and I made sure my team focused on the wrong thing. We were so busy trying to save Christmas, we destroyed the world.
That's a little extreme. Even for you.
I should have stood up to him.
Who? Cal? He's too well connected. You did the right thing. He will take the hit for this. Not you.
No, he won't. Guys like that are untouchable. They never pay the price for their fuck-ups. Everyone else will burn before he gets a paper cut. He'll probably find a way to get a promotion out of this.
Newest Secretary of Defense.
Or president.
I'd rather move to Sweden. Could you imagine? President Calvin McManus. That would really be the end of the world.
It's a pass.
You haven't even seen what she can do yet.
Is it more fire?
Yes.
We aren't interested.
Why not?
The increased temperature overloads the cooling system and fries the motherboard. So yeah, no fire.
We can insulate the unit.
We tried that with your last experiment.
It never went into proof of concept.
You never went into proof of concept. I tested your designs myself. The theory doesn't hold up in practical applications.
Then you didn't follow my design.
Or maybe your design is flawed. How can I help you, sir?
How difficult would it be to retrofit the facility to a testing facility for the new Ortiz robotics tech?
It would heavily depend on the kind of test you were looking to perform.
Field test new defensive equipment in a simulated battlefield, urban, or CQB environment.
Live rounds and munitions?
Not necessarily, depending on how realistic the simulation is.
Do you need us to run field tests or a simulation?
Both.
We have several open-air facilities that could support the kind of tests you're talking about.
We need to be underground. We can't run this like SEALs training. This team is beyond classified.
Okay, well, if you're looking for discretion, the facility should be able to handle the request. They may need time to retrofit some of the ballistic shielding and build some training facilities.
How much time?
Depends on how realistic you want your simulation to be, and how much needs to be practical or virtual effects.
They can't kill Anna.
They won't.
You put Isaac together in a week. There is no way he's as sophisticated as her. What the fuck are they thinking?
That you just changed the voice and everything else is the same.
But that's not what you did. That's not how the systems are built.
I know that. You know that. No one else seems to give a shit about what is reality. As long as Isaac hits the mark and says his line, everything will be fine.
This is like that time they released an AI on social media, and it went from a manic pixie dream girl into a flat earth climate change Holocaust-denying Nazi in 24 hours.
It's not that bad. Isaac will not challenge people, but he also won't prioritize the intel the same way as Anna.
They aren't the same. Isaac will serve his purpose, but it's not the same.
You can't let them kill her.
She's still there, lurking beneath the code, dormant and saved on the mobile shade server.
Cal,
What do you want, Alex?
we love the new toys you've asked us to test with Isaac.
But? Oh, I can sense a butt is coming.
We need to do some field tests.
And your offices at DARPA are ill-equipped to handle such a task?
That's correct.
What do you need from me?
We need a private facility with limited access and no external eyes that may question the functionality of the drones and turrets we are testing.
So you need a secure ballistics testing site, is that it?
I'd prefer an underground football field, but beggars can't be choosers.
I hope you like the modifications I made to the water cannon.
Impressive.
These can, of course, be series together with motion sensors to create an automated defense system.
Too bad they aren't flamethrowers.
That's actually a very simple modification. We just add an accelerant and ignition source, a little insulation on the feed tube, and we're good to go.
I like the way you think.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you like the watch.
Thank you, sir.
What do you think of them?
There is always room for improvement, and frankly, I prefer the Anna system to Isaac.
What system?
Nothing. It's not important. Mobile fire starter.
But why?
If you need to do a controlled burn for forest fires or to create a perimeter.
You want to make a terrestrial drone with a flamethrower?
Yes.
No.
What if it could jump?
Still? No.
Aerial drone with a flamethrower?
Cal didn't like warhounds that walk. He will flip out if you propose aerial fire. Come back when you have something less war crimey.
How much is this going to cost me?
Not much. It will barely make a blip on your defense budget.
Uh-huh. And how much of this is on Nat's budget?
The majority.
That's my girl.
We're ready for the prototype. Since we can't do real-world field tests, we just need access to the facility to build the test site.
So this suit of yours is predominantly for data capture.
It could have a variety of functions, but I believe the best use case will be assessing your operators and testing their physical and mental limits.
And how did you get Nat on board with this?
I told her we were using the suits to test the effectiveness of her warhounds.
Genius.
Thank you, sir.
Cal, please. Oh, and Claire, let me know what you need for the test. I'll make sure everything is ready.
Thank you, Cal. Cal, I hear you've been taking Isaac out for a test drive.
Who told you that?
Isaac.
You've been monitoring our database?
Of course.
I thought the network was supposed to be secure.
It is. And I'm the one who makes sure it stays secure. At this rate, we're going to need to build another backup server or move your data to the cloud.
Running out of memory.
Whatever test you're running, it's filling the servers 5 times faster than we had originally scoped.
Are you asking for more money?
Of course not. I'm asking for solutions. Do you want me to build you another server, which you will inevitably outgrow? Or migrate your database to the cloud, which is limitless?
Cloud.
It will potentially make your intel less secure.
If anyone can find useful information in that sea of nonsense, good on them.
You'd be surprised what people can find when they start digging.
Most of it is just phone calls between friends and family. The occasional sad sack calling a phone sex line. If people want to wade through all that to find a nugget of sensitive information, I'll offer them a job as an intelligence officer.
You'd be surprised how many people you need to hire or arrest.
Hello, Natalia. What can I do for you today?
No, I don't like it.
I'm at your service. Anything you require. Genocide, mayhem, or general crowd control. Your wish is my command.
I told you I don't want AI. No talking robots.
I told you we should have used Isaac.
Isaac is boring. Anna is hilarious.
I think accusing our honeypot of genocide is not as funny as you think it is, dear.
She's not going to cancel the project because one warhound called her on her bullshit.
Are you sure about that? What do you think?
Thank you for making the voice go away.
You're welcome.
Do you think it looks strange?
The running?
Yeah.
Feels a bit intimidating.
I don't mind it feeling intimidating, but it doesn't quite feel human or animalistic.
It's a running warhound.
I know, but there is something unsettling about the transition from walking on all fours to running on two legs with the arms splayed out to the side.
That's for balance.
That makes sense, but I feel like it defeats the purpose of having them on two legs if their arms keep hitting the walls.
Fair enough.
The walking has a usage, but let's eliminate the running on two legs functionality. Excellent.
Oh, good.
Their agility and balance is getting much better. Do you attribute that to the mapping and guidance systems or the redesign on the chassis?
The pulse mapping.
Well, keep up the good work.
You're not going to tell her about the Shade Tech integration?
What's the point? She wanted them to be smarter, but she doesn't want the AI. The only way they are smarter is with the AI.
I hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the ass.
She knows these are all in the same network. If she wants a bespoke system, that's time and money she has not approved or budgeted for this project. Until these are active in the field, it doesn't really matter, and we are years away from deployment. For now, until we finish the R&D, it's easier and safer to build everything on the same system. We can work on segregation later. But for now, we need to do final approval on the prototypes.
They can do what?
They can walk, run, jump, navigate stairs, and, if you want, talk.
No.
That's paid for the R&D. There is no impact to your budget. You effectively can get the upgrade for free.
I do not want your cyberpunk nightmare for my agents.
But think of the applications.
They're supposed to appear to be normal people. How the hell is a high school gym teacher going to explain why they have a walking, talking warhound in their garage in Texas?
Hobbyist roboticists?
Shut it down.
Do you still want your agents to have the potential to access Natalia's warhounds if the need should arise?
Only if they have classified clearance.
Copy that, sir.
Natalia, I have to apologize.
I don't want you to apologize. I want you to fix what you've broken.
It's not broken. It's just legacy programming from our experiments into bipedal movements.
We already determined that in the field, conditions are too unstable, and when fully equipped, the warhounds fall on their backs when they try to run or traverse stairs. They turtle. I ordered warhounds, not war turtles.
I understand.
So fix it.
This would require an entire redesign and to kill the base code.
How long will it take to rebuild?
A year?
So, either I have warhounds that will occasionally rise onto two legs and interface with computers if they detect a threat to their operating system, or we start from scratch and I drop another million into your failed experiment.
Yes.
Fine. Can we confirm that you fixed the bug with the hovercraft guidance system?
I can. You will no longer beach your hovercrafts, as the guidance system will manually measure water levels, rather than relying on depth maps based on average water levels.
Excellent. Is there anything else I should know?
We regret to inform you that our other clients have decided not to order warhounds, so unfortunately we cannot offer a mass production discount unless you would like to increase your order from 500 to 1,000, at which point the price per unit significantly drops.
Run the numbers for licensing the blueprint. I'll produce them myself. With how slow you've been to complete the prototype, you'll deliver one warhound a month for the next 15 years to fill my original order.
Once we are at full production, you can expect 100 warhounds a month.
I'll believe that when I see it. Run the numbers, then we'll talk.
I'm sorry, Viv, we're gonna have to pass.
You can't be serious.
We don't see a market for this, and rather than move from the pitch to proof of concept, we are gonna have to cancel this project.
You're making a huge mistake.
You have 2 months left on the original deal. If you can come to us with something that we can sell to either Cal or Nat, we can talk about renewing your contract. But based on what we're seeing here, I would start getting your resume ready.
Fuck. Imagine it. No Intel analyst sifting through data, completely automated.
But how would they detect a legitimate threat?
With the algorithm.
We use keywords, phrases.
Okay. But what if you're at the movies and the AI thinks the action on the screen is a real firefight?
We use voice recognition and biometrics. We hear the speaker, Anna identifies the speaker, and then does a biometric scan to determine if it's coming from a person or a recording.
That's really smart.
Thank you.
Who's Anna?
The AI. What do you think?
I think you are brilliant and amazing, and we are going to be rich.
Bullshit detected.
She may be too much of a smartass, though.
Hostile detected. Permission to engage.
Stand down, Anna.
Standing down.
I think she's great. But she may be a little off-putting for some people. I mean, you don't think she's too funny?
No. I think an AI with personality will make people feel more comfortable when they're alone in the field.
You don't worry that they'll grow to hate her?
You always hate your handler. But you put up with their bullshit because you know you would be lost without them.
You want me to run an unauthorized field test with your AI?
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
For this test, I just want you to go somewhere, run a pulse scan, and see if you can map the region.
Easy. How populated do you want the scan to be? Like shopping mall on Black Friday or the park on a rainy day at 2 in the afternoon?
Split the difference. Why don't you take a trip to New York? Go see a play or something.
As long as you're paying, your wish is my command.
Thank you, Viv. Oh, and please, don't tell Alex about this. I want to make sure she works before we pitch to Cal.
What they don't know can't hurt them.
Exactly. We can purge the data later.